up. Hopefully that's not far. Where is the stream? There are you. There you are. Perfect. And the audio is good. Perfect, perfect. Alright, so stream's up and the chat is up as well, and we're all good to go. That's great. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to round 4 of the F7 Championship here on PSGL. I'm K1997, your lead commentator for tonight's race, and this time we are racing at the Losail International Circuit for the Qatar Grand Prix. First introduced into Formula One back in 2021 as an addition to replace the Australian Grand Prix during the COVID era. This track was first introduced for Formula One in 2021. Was originally opened in 2004, best known for MotoGP racing from 2004 to onwards today. But Formula One has now come into the picture till about 2033 as it has signed a new contract that would go up towards 2033, which was signed actually just after the Qatar Grand Prix in 2021. The reason we didn't have it for 2022 was obviously because of the Qatar World Cup. But not only that, it'll be the first sprint race for this circuit as well. But of course, that's something we won't have to worry about in PSGL. The track consists of 3.3 miles and only one singular DRS zone that leads down the main straight towards turn 1. Ideally, probably also the primary overtaking spot as well. There can be some other spots, for example, probably at turn 7 where Reservoir is coming through right now, and also maybe if you can at the exit of turn 11 lean into the double right-handers of turns 12 to 14. This track is very fast, very flowy, and also not the easiest to overtake either, even though it is quite wide in some areas, but yeah, it's very difficult to overtake in some aspects. And also another thing the drivers will have to be very, very mindful about is the fuel consumption. This track eats up a lot of fuel. I can definitely tell you that from a race I did last week at this very racetrack as well. So they have to make sure they'll have enough fuel for this race. Otherwise, they will be at risk of running out of fuel probably the end of the race. Now, before we fully go focus into qualifying, there is some news to go through first from the previous race at Silverstone. There were just a few incidents that were reported, few of which are penalties removed. Nathan got his 3 seconds removed. That would promote him up to 4th place. Nicholas Boita got his 8 seconds removed. He had a 3 seconds time penalty and a 5-second penalty that was removed. But yeah, it doesn't really gain any sort of position. The other incidents, Reservoir got a 5-second penalty. That doesn't really matter anyway because he was outside the points when that happened. Luno got I think he's got 10 seconds worth of penalties. So that would demote him. From P5 to P9 in the final results. Actually, yeah, it would demote him down to P9 out of the whole results. Other results, Napple got a 5-second penalty. He was outside the points. And then maybe got a 3-second time penalty that was removed. So he would move up from P11 to P10. So, looking at the Drivers' Championship currently as it stands, as I'll get that up in just a few secs. Currently, it is Riggs that leads the championship on 29 points, followed by Provatox in 2nd. As a 5-place grid penalty for Nathan for a collision with Napple. Interesting. Provatox in 2nd with 28 points along with McKaylee, who's actually been reserving and doing quite respectfully well in this championship. Brandox in 4th with 24 points, followed by Yanetsky in 5th with 18. Nathan, as we just saw, got a penalty, is in 6th with 12 points. Reza Feinstein with 10. Cedric and El Pilator is tied in 8th with 8 points, sorry. And right off the 10 is Julian with 5 points. In the Constructors' Championship, it's currently Ferrari that are leading the way on 31 points, followed by Nicholas Boita with, the Red Bull team, I should say, is in second with 29 points. In third is Alfa Romeo with 26 points, along with Aston Martin. AlphaTauri in 5th with 17. McLaren are in 6th with 10. Haas in 7th with 9. Mercedes in 8th with 7. Alpine in 9th with 5. And Williams rounds it off with 4 points. Alright, now we got all that out of the way, I can now introduce my co-commentator, who is once again Flynn. Flynn, you and I have actually talked a little bit about this race before we came on air. Kind of similar that we agree that it's kind of a very interesting flowy track, but yeah, it eats up a lot of fuel. How do you find this racetrack from your perspective?
To be honest, it's such a spectacular and just amazing track to be under the floodlights and just, yeah, so amazing. What you said about fuel, it is quite harsh on this track, you know, it eats and eats and eats and eats and eats. If you don't pay attention, you'll be running out of fuel, and then before you know it, lap 28, 29, you'll be going very, very slow, thinking, what's going on? And then realise you've got no fuel in your car. Other bits of buzz on this track limits is very, very tight. And yes, so you've got to keep it within between the lines. I believe we are seeing a few drivers also invalidating on the track itself. So some drivers struggling, but that's to be expected, as this is going to be the first official league race of PSGL on PSF7 tier. Believe so. So we're going to get some awesome racing action tonight. Side-by-side action. Hopefully not too chaotic, as we know, KD. But nevertheless, we will find out. 100%.
Yeah, I probably would agree with you on all those aspects. I mean, I previously, like I said, did a race myself, doing a race around Qatar. I do agree, like, with the fuel, it's just ridiculous how much this track eats fuel. It's just because there isn't really many areas to, like, stop. It's such a flowy track with medium high-speed turns that, yeah, it can burn off the fuel. And also, it's not very easy to regain battery as well if you, let's say, use it up. It's very hard to do so, to regain it, unless you have DRS to help you out. But, yeah, and then also the track limits, yeah, like, oh gosh, I probably would find that 14 and 15 are the worst ones, because 14 is the end of the triple right-handers, if you don't know. So it's easy to run very wide and also get a warning for it. And then also 15 has this slight bump on the inside part of the turn that can throw your car off. And if you catch it, you'll go off the track, but then the game also punishes you for it. So yeah, you gotta be very careful with all that.
Yeah, you do. It can be quite harsh. And also, one thing you've got to look out for as well is, obviously, it's going to be where you are on the track as well. Not getting in the way of drivers, as we saw on PC Tier 1, a very unfortunate collision between Jake Benham and Barry Berman. Actually going to be the entrance to turn 16, I believe. Jake just wasn't paying attention, no awareness from him, and turned, and Barry was there, and a bit chaotic it was, So the awareness they need to know. Obviously, like everyone says and always will do, there is a lot of runoff, so drivers should be able to just dodge out of the way, off the track, just move, let them by, etc. Like the Mercedes now of, I believe is that Belby? Yeah, it is. Like there's an example there. The AlphaTauri getting out of the way there to let the Mercedes go by to start that lap, you know? You've got so much track and drivers can get by.
Yeah.
There should be no issues.
Exactly. Well, speaking of Belmabee, well, you know what? Let's take advantage of him. I'll give you a proper tour of the racetrack here at Qatar. Down towards turn 1, braking just before the 50-meter board. Very sweeping right-hander of turn 1. Short shifting up to 5th on the exit, justifying traction. Down towards turn 2. fifth gear, keeps it in fifth, doesn't bother shifting down to fourth. To the kink of 3, now into the double right-handers of 4 and 5. Down to fifth, flips the inside curve. It's a very weird corner, this. You have to use all the curves as much as you possibly can. Now into turn 6. Yeah. Now to turn 6, it's a traction zone. Got to be very careful as well in the exit. Race goes to the top with a 120.4. Around turn 7, again using all the full width of the track at that corner. Now into turn 11. Very tricky. Got to get the traction down. Very nicely done there by the Mercedes-Benz. Let's see what the clock says for him as he reaches the end of the middle sector. And he's up by just nearly 2.5 tenths. And like I say, all flat out. Don't bother lifting through these triple right-handers. It's all flat through there. Now into turn 15. Down to 6. Uses the full width of the track. Now to the final corner of turn 16. And then pretty much just a dash to the line. Open the DRS up towards the start-finish line for Bell B, and it will be a 120.552. Already in this tier, we're seeing some really, really quick times for sure here in F7.
We are indeed, and it's pretty impressive to be honest. You know, I was not expecting the 120s, but the grid quite close from P1 down to P number 8 at the moment. And then there's a little bit of a hefty gap from P9 down to P16 at the moment, but these are only bank laps, so they're definitely going to get faster, and track evolution is definitely going to improve. And I just realised there's only 6 minutes of qualifying to go, so for some reason, we've flown through this qualifying session so far. I thought we had 10 minutes, but I've got 6 minutes. What's going on? It's crazy.
It's just because we've been talking so much. Just we haven't really kept track of some bit of the qualifying. Goodness me. And then I think the AlphaTauri just came across late there. That was Boomsha, and I think someone else just did following that. Yeah, Boomsha did a 20.7, and that's now Dominic Nielsen that just crossed the line to do a 121. Dead exactly. Funny enough, though, the time I set in the league I did a 1 minute 20.893. If I would have put that time, I would have been P11 in this tier. That's how close and how crazy quick these guys are. That is actually pretty impressive. As Michele goes to 6 with a 120.7. And as I remember correctly, too, the top tier, that's league I'm in. The pole time for that was like a 120.6. So that pole position from that driver would have been like somewhere around the top 5. So yeah, the fact that the 20.4 is the pole time at the moment is just absolutely insane. And this is F7, which is even more insane.
That is crazy. Like I was expecting, like, you know, F7, you know, it's quite a far down tier for them. I mean, obviously they're running no assists. It's all assist free, of course. But I would expect, you know, the 1.2s, the 123s, not quick laps, but what are we getting here? Like, I was watching a race earlier on from PSGL, right, and they were in tier 4, and they were in the 120s. We're in PSGL F7, and we're in the 120s, so it's crazy what is going on.
Yeah, mid-20s, if may I remind you as well. Because,
it is, yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting pole to be more somewhere like a 120.8 or a 120.7. Not what they're doing right now, which is absolutely incredible.
But no, we just had Nathan come to the line in the AlphaTauri, go to P7, a 3/10 improvement. It's going to be a 120.769, so that's a very impressive improvement by the AlphaTauri. And that might be the final lap. They might get to the pit lane. They might get to the pit lane back in time, but
he should be able to get there. He should be able to get there in time. It's only 4 minutes, and it's not a very bad. Not bad. Not a big pit lane because it's only 80 kilometers an hour when you try to get into the pit lane.
That's a good point. I was going to mention pit entry on this track is quite something. It is quite an interesting one because obviously when you come to the pit entry, some drivers do brake quite early around the bend and then they slow down completely because they think the line's there. But what you want to be careful of is that right banker into the pit entry, and then your only issue there is if you slam on, your car's going to snap and you're going to get front wing damage, because it happened to me a few times whilst driving around this track with mates and league racing, and It wasn't a joyful sight to see, if I'm going to be honest. I was quite
Yeah.
emotional.
Well, that's actually a very good point, yeah, because I completely forgot about the pit entry. Yeah, because the line is at the exit of the bend and then dips down. So it's a very long way to enter into the pit line. Um, and yeah, no, like even if you're using no ABS, you gotta make sure you pay attention to know
Yeah,
where that line is. If you don't, well, yeah, obviously, kind of like you're saying, it's just you're basically gonna get a penalty if you're not careful. Anyways, we do have a few drivers out and about doing their final flying laps. Ryan along with Doozy in the Alpine. He's just starting.
ooh,
Ash
Alfa Romeo spun.
Alfa Romeo. Oh, I thought it was a Ferrari that spun in the middle sector.
No, down in sector 3, I believe, turn 15.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. Sorry, but
That's
anyway,
fine. He was on a flyer, but yeah, he
uh,
kind of lost it.
I see. So he lost it coming through those right-handers. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like you said, easy to lose it there.
Well, Doozy was up by 2/10 of the first, and 2/10 to the middle for Doozy. So Bessie's looking at is at least at least just outside 12th place. So can he find any more time though, Doozy? He's got one more turn. The tricky right-hander. Oh, as I say
Ooh,
that,
wow.
well, more like a tricky back end for the Alpine as he slides at the edge of the final corner, and he does not improve at all. He lost so much time. Yeah, he just put too much.
Devastating.
Yeah, he just put too much throttle down, and yeah, that's it.
That is true. I mean, we can go on board with the Ferrari of Provatox right now on a flyer at the moment, down in Sector 1. He's got quite a bit of traffic to guide his way through, so let's hope he doesn't get blocked whatsoever as he's about to obviously approach the Red Bull and
Yep.
Qatar, etc. But now in Sector 2, and not doing too bad at the moment, but hopefully, like you say, and promise drivers, no issues, but yeah, some of these corners quite tricky here. We're coming to like left, right, brake hard, accelerate at the right time, not invalidate, like I say, track limit is very, very high and on key point here. Now down to sector 2 he goes, gone purple. He's 16 milliseconds up on his time at the moment. So if he's in pole position, no clue, we'll find out as he's running around turn number 15 now, and this is the fast right-hander coming up now, turn 16. Now you want to get it all right, you want to tuck him to the inside, then back out to the outside and just DRS. Nice toes getting up ahead as well, and DRS on, up to the line. What's it going to be? Is it going to be pole position?
No,
It's
it
only
isn't.
P4. Wow,
Only
okay.
Only fourth fastest for Profit Talks. But yeah, just about 3/100ths quicker than Brokey at the moment. So everyone's on their flying laps. Rezify's up by nearly 1/10 of the first, and he's up by nearly 2/10 of the middle sector. But with this sort of improvement, it can be close to Riggs, but Riggs is on a flyer, and he's up by nearly 1/10 of a second. Belbubby, I don't think has improved. He's staying where he is. But Rezify up to the start finish line. He'll come now. We'll keep an eye on Riggs' second set. As Ludo goes to second with a 120.5. Rezify goes to pole with a 120.411. But Riggs, he's still on a flyer and he's still up on his time. Can he improve here? Oh, that was super
So
close.
close.
He was within the lines, but he kept it within the white lines. Alright, here he comes. Up his DRS, up towards the line. He's also got a Ferrari behind him as well. And no, it's not enough. He lost time actually in that final sector, 120.458. And I think Napple just only improved to a 20.674. So he's just behind his teammate. Oh, a destroyed front wing from AI, I believe there. Nathan up by just nearly 10th and a half. He improves to a 20.6. Goes 6th quickest. And the top 16 is nearly 4.5 tenths, over 4.5 tenths from each other.
That's impressive, to be honest.
That is extremely close.
Look
Extremely.
at that. P1 and P2, then P3, and then, like you say, down to P6. That is close, but that is what we like to see here at PSGL. Close racing.
Under
that indicates we're going to get good racing tonight. 100% tell you right now.
Yeah. Under a 10th separating the top 3. What on earth? That is yeah, that's incredible. I mean, I expected that in Qatar, but wow, that's incredible. Yeah, so Razify pole, Riggs in 2nd, Michele 3rd, Luno in 4th, and 5th is Bellaby, separated by just about nearly 30 thousandths. Then Nathan 6th, but he's going to start 11th thanks to that penalty. Provitalks, Napol, Brokey, maybe, Liam, Boomsha, Nicholas, Leo, Brian Dogs, Stroduzzi, Nick Kenshin, Yanetsky, and Toby, who didn't even do a lap at all. I don't know if
they have a qualifying ban or something, is what I was going to say, maybe?
I was wondering the same thing, too. I don't know if he did get a quali ban, or if he just intended to start from the very
we
back.
are confirmed we are doing a lobby restart, because there was some unfair penalties given out to Nathan for illegal blocking when it wasn't, so unfortunately, we're getting a quick lobby restart, which is quite unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Alright, well, great. Guess we'll head to the showrooms then and look at some cars, I guess.
Yep, and we'll try to entertain the chat as best as we can.
But yeah, yeah, no, that qualifying session was, I think, the closest that we have ever seen so far since Brazil.
Yeah, I would say so myself. 100% agree with you, buddy.
Yeah, because Brazil, we had that by 7.5 tenths from almost the entire field. And then, yeah, from Bahrain, I think it was separated by about, shoot, how much was it separated by? I think it was separated by nearly a second, which is expected for Bahrain. And then Silverstone, almost the same story. We've had really close qualifying. No one's really been, like, too separate from anybody, which is really exciting to see.
It is true indeed, and like I say, close grid means awesome racing tonight, as we love to see. Could be that esports train again, as we saw last weekend. Last week. But only time will tell. But no, I am quite surprised by Luno in the Aston Martin though, because they were like at the back foot of the start of the season, and all of a sudden they come out of nowhere. That they started getting P1, they started being competitive. It's just they're basically just shot up of just out of nowhere. It's crazy. But no,
yeah.
I'm also surprised to see who would I say? I'm surprised to see Nathan up there as well, P6 for AlphaTauri. Obviously he'll start P6. I think the lobby restart obviously had an unfair penalty, but it is what it is. But one driver that's caught my eye, which is quite surprising, is Pravatox in the Ferrari, down in P7. He's 2 tenths off P1 at the moment, which is quite interesting, because not he's a fast driver, but what I have known, he's kind of similar to one man called John Watmere. His qualifying pace isn't there, right? But when it's race pace and racecraft, his race pace is there, which is a bit like his racecraft's better than qualifying. So maybe we might see a Gris and Pravatox. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But no, Ferrari 7th and 8th. That's a good position for them. That's really good.
Funny enough, Pravatox, as you mentioned too, is like he hasn't had he's not had good qualifying, but like he won Brazil after like in mixed conditions. He had really good pace, and then he got Hanetsky on the final lap, as we saw at Interlagos. And then like Silverstone just last week, like he started 16th and then finished in 2nd, I think, because he lost out to who did he lose out to? Michele? Yeah, I think it was Michele. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's it'll be interesting for sure. The championship also is very close. Like I've mentioned too, we have Riggs and Pravatox battling for the championship, and Michele too, if he decides that he wants to do full time. Right now he's a reserve, but he started the championship as a reserve. And there's the invites. That's good.
But that is impressive. You've got reserve drivers fighting for championships. It's just like, what's going on here?
Mm.
You've got that, which is absolutely crazy. And what blows my mind away completely is actually talking about the standings, which we talked about at the beginning of the stream when everything was up and running, which is absolutely crazy in ourselves. Is having a look at it, I didn't actually realise, but obviously, like you said, you got Riggs in first place, obviously with 29 points, and you've got 2 and 3 with 28.
28 points, yeah.
Yeah, tied together. So that's crazy how close it is. And then what's interesting is you got Brandox and the Aston Martin, which is also another driver that's come out of nowhere, and he's on 24 points.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Funny enough, too, he's also another driver that doesn't qualify well, but he also has proven that he's capable of being towards the front. I think Silverstone was like his best qualifying, but like, yeah, no, like there were other races though that he just doesn't seem like he qualifies well. Yeah, no, he got pole. That's right. He got pole position last week. I just remembered now. Yeah, he got pole.
Yeah, and then he had a terrible start or something, didn't he? He had contact and then spun, didn't he, or something?
Yeah, at Abbey or Farm, but yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember now, but yeah. No, it sounds about right. But yeah, no, this championship looks very close. Who would you? Well, I guess this is probably the most obvious question, but I mean, just to fill the time. But who would you think right now? Would you say is like the title contenders? I'm not saying who you think will win it. I'm saying like who do you think will be a title contender? To
be honest, I want to say the top two in the standings. You've got Prometox and Rig. Red Bull versus Ferrari, right? It's just what's crazy is when they get close on track, they get close on track, and it can be scary, obviously, when they're close on track. But obviously, only time will tell. But it's all about today's race. We'll find out if obviously Rig can take that championship lead, or if Prometox can fight his way through, get a mega start. Because obviously, as you know, it's basically like Monza, this kind of track at the start of the race. You've just got a massive straight down to turn 1. But instead of it being a Monza turn 1, it's a right-hander to a left-hander. So, yeah. It's just, you go, and then the cars behind you are going to get that toe. So if it was my opinion, you're probably not wanting to start in P1. You're more likely want to start in like P2, P3, P4 area, so you can get that toe off the car ahead and then just sling your way through. Try to break DRS or just defend, whatever you do. Yeah, people will just find out shortly when the lobbies
probably would agree with that, because like I said about my race at Qatar in another league that I did, I started from pole. I got a decent start. I didn't get the best of starts, but I nearly had an Alpine that was P2 behind me nearly get me off the line, but I managed to hang around the outside and keep my position. But yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, if P1 can get a good start, all you got to do is just cover off P2, and then you've got pretty much the position covered at least for a while. And if you can, you can pray and hope that you have a better setup and pull away. But
yeah,
I don't think that's something we're gonna see in this race. I know we'll see a lot of close racing. I mean, that's what we saw from. Oh, I mean, I know they're esports drivers, but the PCF1 guys, like how close they were the entire flipping race, like nearly.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then I think you had lap 24, 23, where Jono went for it. He obviously forced, I think it was Blakely off a little bit too much. But obviously, you know, it's hard racing in the day. It's bound to happen. It wasn't like it was on purpose, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like a prime example there, Jono got ahead, got his elbows out. Blakely got his elbows out, so it was kind of fair 50-50, you know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Barry Burman got in the mix, and then after that part, I think Blakely got slightly sidetracked with the car behind, tried to defend, and then Jarno just, whatever he did in that Mercedes, He just went for it and he broke the gap, broke DRS, and just started flying and pulling away. As everyone knows, the Flying Dutchman. When he gets a gap, he will fly, and he showed that yesterday, which was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
So maybe we might get a remake. We'll find out. You never know, but looks like we're getting ready to go in the lobby.
Yep, I guess so. Yeah, funny enough, if it was, yeah, you mentioned about the hitch with him and Blakely. If it was like, probably the Yano fans will be like, oh, he did that. There was nothing wrong. Or in the case if it was the other way around, Yano fans would be like, oh, he did that on purpose. You know, Yano fans. Yeah. Sorry for any Yano fans that are watching the stream. Because sometimes I do get a little bit, well, I probably would agree most of the PSGL staff do get a little bit uphand with the Yano Almere fans. Not all of them
Yeah,
are,
I can understand that.
yeah. I mean, not that I am in charge of the chat whenever that happens, but yeah, I've seen, like, some pretty nasty stuff from those people. But other than that, though, I mean, like, it's pretty much just, you know, the esports drivers, they respect one another, I probably assume. Well, maybe. I don't know how they usually are with them personally, but anyway. But anyway, we're focusing on what we're focusing on right now, which is F7. And yeah. And also, if you want to watch the other races going on right now, put on multiple tabs. You got F5, F3, and F1 going on right now as well. So just have all these views going on and make sure to tune in for all the races. But of course, for us, it's just primarily we're focusing on F7. And did we have Formation Lap on? I know they had a patch just last
I
night.
believe it is turned off. I've had a look in
is it turned off?
the notes channel, but I believe it is turned off. I can have another check. Bear with one moment. I know it's somewhere. I've lost it now.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, if you can't find it, we'll find out once we get going. It's just so I don't get caught off guard and think like, oh, it's a formation lap. Yeah, because sometimes I've had that before where like the coordinators don't say anything, and the next thing you know, they go straight into the race and not into the formation lap. But
I had it somewhere, but I've just lost the channel. I can't find it now. There's too many.
I know there is way too many. I agree with that.
I believe it is turned off though. It wouldn't be turned back on straight away without any further testing done. So I can confirm it's probably turned off for today's race.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll find out once we get going. I see the one thing they still haven't done is they've put on the countdown clock because that's something they haven't done yet. Because normally whenever, like, let's say someone's rated up, and I think someone's already rated up, they will usually be like a 30-second clock to tell the spectator when we're getting ready to go.
True.
So what do you reckon everyone will do? Do you think they'll start on the hards? Do you I reckon they'll start on, most of them will start on the hard sire.
I would say your best tyre is going to be the hards because you can go longer. Tyre wear's not really that bad around this track. So it'll probably be a hard medium. If you're at the back of the grid, you're probably going to go for a gamble. You're either going to start on the mediums or you're going to go soft and then hards and just play the long game and wait for a safety car. But no, hards could be a good gamble or it could be mediums. It depends what the race pace is like from these drivers. It really depends what your starter's like. But here we go then.
Alright, well, there we go. No formation lap. 5 lights on for the Qatar Grand Prix. For the very first time, we're underway here in Lusail. It's a nice start there by Rezify. He covers off the Red Bull of Riggs as they make their way up towards turn 1. No, actually, Riggs will find him into the first corner. It looked like initially it wasn't going to be the case. But Riggs, there's a little bit of trouble towards the back for, looks like Leo Harrison maybe. And a little bit of a trouble as well for Luno, who we just said that he was been doing well in qualifying. He's now plummeted down to 18th place.
And meanwhile, him already.
Oh dear, two cars are side by side. That's Michele and Boomsha around turn 6. Boomsha is on the outside. I think he's got the drive and he's got the position now. Takes the position away, I should say, from Michele. But what a start from Riggs. I thought he wasn't going to get it initially, but no, he got off the line. Didn't look like it did the first part, but the second part of the start, he got it done. He's in the lead.
Yeah, he got it done indeed, and that was a good start, and that's what Reservoir needed right there. But having a look at the strategies, not many cars on the mediums. Most of the gamble is on the hard tyres, and that's a big shout for Riggs and P1 at the moment in the Red Bull on the hard compound ahead of the medium runner, which is behind. But Reservoir, I get a feeling there's going to be a move approaching at turn 1 as we cross the start and finish to start lap number 2. And there's already someone to put in as well. It's going to be the Hack.
Yep, and yeah, that's probably for damage for Dominic Nielsen, actually. And yes, there you go. Reservoir into the first turn. He now retakes the lead of the Qatar Grand Prix. But yeah, he wants to get going quickly. He doesn't want that Red Bull to get DRS on him. And yeah, as you can see, only 4 drivers, well now 5 thanks to Nielsen pitting, are on the medium tire. And then the rest are on hards. And 2 drivers on the softs. That unfortunately was Luna who got involved in that incident at turn 3. And then Yanetsky in 11th.
I'll say we're done the commentator's curse already. We're not even on like halfway through or a quarter way through the race. No, that's devastating for the Aston Martin. But we know what Luna can do. We know the pace they have in that Aston Martin. Obviously, they're hoping for a safety car. They're on the soft tyres at the moment. They've got a lot of work to do. But if they put their head down, work hard, they could gain some points here tonight, Qatar. I believe so. I have faith in the Aston Martin.
Wait, see, I mean, safety car probability here is quite low, which is understandable considering how much runoff area there is around this place. You got mainly just a bit of runoff and then mostly gravel, from what I've understood around this place. Meanwhile, Reservoir still leads the way, but not by much, only 2.5 tenths between himself and Riggs as he sets the fastest lap with a 24.8.
Janetsky at the moment fighting for P10 against Nicholas in the Red Bull. Down to turn 1 we go, and the Alfa Romeo scoops around the inside there. A lovely move there, and that's up to P10. That was a spectacular move. Takes the inside line, and wow, that was amazing. But look at that in the background, the McLaren of Toby also getting involved with the Aston Martin, trying to go on the outside there, but not making the move stick at the moment. But he's looking, he's pouncing, he's trying to see where he can go, left and right, weaving, trying to find a bit of racing line and etc. But no way through. Heading up to turn 7 now, and he stays behind the Aston Martin. I'm glad they didn't touch at all, actually, to be honest. I thought they would have touched, but that was a bit close to the rear end.
Yeah, and also I was going to say too, Yanetsky is actually the biggest mover out of this whole field as well. He's gained 9 spots, and obviously the biggest loser, unfortunately, is Ludo, who's an 18. He's down. He moved down 14 positions. So yeah, and everyone's within a trade pretty much from the lead to 16th, because now everyone's going to get DRS. Well, apart from the leader, and apart from Leo, who's all the way down in 17th. All right, well, Race is going to have DRS. That means he'll scoot on by. It looks like he doesn't want to stay behind for too long. And yeah, Bree takes the lead. Yeah, but the only problem is when you're in that DRS trade is that you can't really do too much. You're just stuck really in the middle pack, unless you got the car in front of you that doesn't really have much battery. But you got to pray for that 12. They don't have lower weight compared to you.
That is very true, and having a ride on board with 14th and 15th at the moment, they're getting in a bit of a spicy battle. The Alpine, unfortunately, not able to get the move done on Nick up ahead in the Williams at the moment. Also, the McLaren there, Toby, going a little bit wide, and in the resistance of that, he's got a 3-second tyre penalty for not keeping it on the track. So that's going to damage his race just a little bit at the moment, not in the points just yet, but once he gets into the points, he'll be happy about that. But then you've just got to realise, I've got a 3-second tyre penalty, what can I do to build a gap? That's what he'll be thinking in his head right now.
Yeah, I can understand that. And also, I'm noticing Reservoir slowly pulling a bit of a gap between himself and Belbelby, 8 tenths. But if Belbelby can stay within under a second, he'll still get DRS, and he will. And Toby, yet another penalty, 6 seconds on the same lap. Gee whiz.
That is definitely not ideal, but look at Bomb right now. Right on the back of Liam. Trying to go for P6, but Liam just got a little bit more straight line speed. And I thought he was going to go for the move on products there, but not close enough, but enough straight line speed to defend. And like you say, we've just got a chain at the moment, so not much is happening But as I say that, there are moves changing at the back of the grid. That is Luno losing out to the Alpine of Mabi there. And not ideal, but still a strong race. And those two at the back who got involved in a collision, in separate collisions of course, they are catching to the train shortly and slowly, which is actually a good thing because they're on fresher tyres. Obviously they'll have to box again, but they're with the train, which isn't an issue.
Yeah, and also looking at the battery situation, I looked at just at the top two. Riggs has 40% last I checked. Reservoir still has plenty. He's only got nearly 90% from last time I checked. But yeah, right now he just needs to pull away though. He doesn't want the Red Bull to be close to not only close, but also doesn't want to have the Red Bull ahead of him because that kind of hampers his strategy a little bit.
Well, at the moment it is hampering his strategy quite big. He's not draining the battery. He's not doing anything. So at the moment, the Red Bull in P1 is just flying right now. So we've got another 3-second time penalty.
That's
Stradiusi. They're just not finding it on the track, you know. Track limits are very, very tough on this track. If you go a little bit too wide, you get a bit of oversteer or understeer. You go off the track, you get in a warning. And as I say, there's a McLaren and a Toby going very, very slowly at the moment. And I think he had a moment down to turn one, so there's a kind of a gaggle of cars at the back. And it could get a bit spicy here by the Williams now, or Nick going up into P13. And Stradiusi trying to make a move for 14th at the moment, but not able to make a move yet. I go for a look at the inside, but doesn't. He stays behind, which is a bit smart there. They're getting a bit close to comfort there. And it was a bit tight. And I'm glad how there was no damage or anything like that there. Awesome racing between the pair of them. And now Broly getting in the mix as well. In P16.
I'm also wondering too, because I know Stradiusi has been absent for a while because he had a broken arm. That's why he didn't race for about a couple of races. I wonder if that maybe is sort of hampering his performance a little bit, because I know Stradiusi is a very quick driver. Usually a clean driver as well, like not usually get many penalties. Yeah, I kind of wonder if that's kind of hampering him just a little bit. But yeah,
it could be indeed.
Top 9 though.
But now, yeah, top 9, sorry, and top 5 as well.
Changing for immediately. That's early.
Oh, he's in. That is early. Is he on the mediums?
No, he's on hard.
Oh, he's retired.
He's retired in the pits. I'm guessing his arm can't. I'm thinking his arm can't take it anymore, which is understandable. Because yeah, like I said, he's been dealing with that for a while. That's why he wasn't racing for a short period of time. No, fair enough. I mean, if it's because of injury, at least he tried. That's the main thing. I do respect someone that's tried after suffering an injury. Hell, I mean, I remember an Australian that came back from racing after riding in the back of a pickup truck. But never mind that. As Toby's got another penalty. That's 9 seconds to his name.
He's not a very good start to the race, is he? We're only on lap 7 at the moment.
Yeah, and with everyone being so close, yeah, that's not very ideal for himself too.
But yeah, I'm seeing Paradox at the moment. He started, was it P7 or something? Or P6?
Yeah, he was P7.
And he's already up into 5th.
He's up to 5th place.
He's following very, very closely to the rearing of Nathan there, so I'm just waiting to see if he's going to make a move, because it could be ever so shortly as Nathan goes wide there, so that will definitely be a track limit warning.
Yeah,
riding on board with the AlphaTauri as well. The AlphaTauri's got a little bit more straight on speed. The Haas of Ellie now looking to the inside.
He's going to make it stick here, I think. Oh, it's a turn 1.
We'll see in a minute.
No, not quite, but he tried. He did try.
He did try. That was a good defense there from the AlphaTauri, so it could happen again here. He could go look up the inside, but he's not going to.
Well, they don't want to be...
set. Go on.
I was going to say, they don't want to be fighting, because otherwise they're going to be losing time. That's for sure.
You know what, that is quite smart, and what is quite interesting as he is McKaylee is on those hard tyres as well, so it's a bit crazy to see on lap number 8 that other medium runners are really struggling at the moment. So could they have gone for the not the great tyre and use the best tyre at the advantage when we box for our only stop, so you never know. Some people could be struggling on the mediums and they go onto hards and they're absolutely flying. We just don't know. It's all drivers take and what drivers prefer and stuff like that, really. So we'll find out shortly what is the actual deal.
Well, I can tell you it's not the. I can tell you it's not. Yeah, sorry. I can tell you that it's not the softs because Netsky is struggling to keep up, and he's been losing a couple of spots, and he's out of that top 9 DRS train that he was in for a little while. Oh, that's hard defending there from Nathan there. Riggs takes the lead, but Provatox inside on Nathan into the first corner. He gets it done. I think just a
almost.
No, not quite actually. I thought he did initially, but no. There's still
slight contact.
Oh, that's really not much room, but now he gives room. Provatox up to 4th. Jeez, that was
pushing. He is coming. He's one sniff away. No one's ever said that before, probably, but he's one sniff away from getting a podium there. As Nathan almost into the back of him there. That was very, very close for comfort right there. But no, Provatox is sniffing, and he can sense a podium at this moment.
Yellow flags. That's for Mabby, and the other Alpine. He spun out of turn 2. Turn 3 or turn 5. Sorry, that's double right-handers.
Do we have any moves shortly? Maybe Janetsky right behind Brandox at the moment. My English completely dying there. Brandox in P10 at the moment. Has he gained any positions?
Brandox?
Brandox has gained 5. Yeah,
he's gained 5
positions at the moment.
He's gained 5 spots. Yeah.
He's slowly getting into the rhythm of the race. You know, as we know, Brandox isn't a driver to be aware. Is a driver not to be surprised of, shall I say? He just takes his time, you know, and he pushes right at the end. He gets amazing pace, but Rezify switching up and up to P1, and that Mercedes of Belby is very, very close. Same with Provatox in P4, quite close at the moment. Nathan struggling to stay with the top 4. That gap around 9/10 at the moment, and is opening. So if Nathan loses, the top 4 could be running away any second. It's getting a bit spicy with the top 4, may I say.
Yeah, Nathan does not want to lose out to that top 4, but yeah, I have a feeling that those hards are starting to come more into their play on this bit of the race. But yeah, if he can, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I know the softs are definitely dead because that's proven on Yanetsky's pace. And yeah, right now I think the same story could be said for the mediums. But this is a but. They could try to pit, let's say, in the next lap or 2. Go for an undercut. Maybe get on from the mediums to the hard side, which isn't a bad idea. It seems like they're fairly... I don't know if maybe they are fairly even, the tires, in terms of the pace. But if there is, I mean, I think the mediums could play into big... I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Play into some sort of factor for an undercut.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, we just... Like I say, we'll have to wait and see what happens as Rezify loses the lead again. Look with a dive there for the Red Bull, and the Red Bull succeeds P1 again. That was quite a late lunge, you could say. Obviously, it doesn't help if the top 2 keep fighting, because Belby is just waiting, as you can see in the background, on those hard tires as well. Probably as well, just waiting in the back, lurking. And can you imagine if those 2 come together, how much damage that does to Rig in P1 at the moment?
Well,
how much damage that causes.
Well, Belvabit nearly threw that away because he had a big moment out of turn 5. He's lucky to keep the car pointing in the right direction. Shoot. I mean, here's another thing I have noticed. If I look at the telemetry, okay? 100% for Rezify. What he's doing, and I think this is proving my point. He's saving up for the undercut. When he gets in, he'll go into the hards, if he does decide to do so. Go for the hards, and go for a massive, massive quali lapse on those tires. You burn off the battery as much as he can, get an undercut, and get a big gap to himself and Riggs. Or pretty much just anyone in this whole train, as a matter of fact.
That is fairly true, like I say. We just have to wait and see what happens, because nothing's really happening. But Rezify getting quite close to the rear wing of that Red Bull.
Speaking of that.
Yeah, speaking of that, there is a yellow flag, and that's going to be the McLaren of Toby.
Yeah, Toby spun out of 15. And then, yeah, as we saw the other McLaren just over, well, trying to at least hold on his position for first.
But no, things happening left, right, and centre. Look at the top two. They're like, it's like they're super glued together at the moment. They are getting quite close. I think you're right. I think those hards are starting to rubber in and starting to pick up the pace a little bit more, and the mediums are starting to fall backwards.
Or actually,
because there are some drivers on the grid starting to struggle for pace.
Actually, there's another thing I've actually just thought of. Oh, it's Toby. Well, not that I thought of. But no, what I was actually thinking of is that I remember I did a hard soft strategy around Qatar. I pitted on lap 17 or 18. It actually worked quite well. I wonder if maybe if these guys are also going to try to stretch the tires. Even the medium runs, I think, could stretch from the mediums to the soft tire. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking. That could be a good strategy. If you hold it to lap 20 or 19, go on softs, you'll be fine to the end of the race. But Nicholas,
he's got a penalty
in the Red Bull,
penalty lead,
and look, pit stops are happening.
Yeah, Boomsha's in, Napple and Yanitsky. Yeah,
Napple in already on those hard tires. Interesting.
I think you could go to the end from here. If I'm totally fair.
Yeah, you can go to the end, but totally will be a bit insane. But look at P9 and P10, and you could say almost P11. They're going at it wheel to wheel. And there's contact.
Oh, contact going to spin. Damage there for the
damage indeed. For the Mercedes.
Yep, he's got a missing end plate. Yeah, ran into the back, I think, of the Red Bull as he was fighting. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Berkey. Got involved in that whole incident. He'll definitely have to come in.
But yeah, look at Brandox in P8. No one to fight. Can sit and chill. He's got a decent amount of battery. He's 5 seconds to the cars behind. He's just vibing at the moment, if I say so. And McKaylee right on the rear wing on Liam at the moment. We might see him move shortly for P number 6 because McKaylee starting to push a little bit. This could mean that strategies are about to come into play, and there's more yellow flags. Someone has gone off.
That was Mabby again.
Mabby.
Yeah, but 7. And
look at this, there's more pit stops. Resify is in.
So Resify is opting to go for medium hards. He's not opting to go onto the soft tire. Boomsha is got a 3-second time penalty. And Liam's in, Nathan's in. A lot of other drivers are coming into the pits to get off of those tires. Yep, on goes the hards for Resify, mediums for Belbobby, and a little bit more shuffling as we go along. Nathan on hards, Liam on mediums, Nick Kenshin on the mediums. Yeah, no, everyone's starting to make their cycles now. So Riggs, I think, is going to respond. Same with Provençaux. That's definitely for sure what they have to do to respond to these sort of pit stops.
There's one slight problem. Toby is ahead, and he's actually holding up Resify there. As Resify almost went into the back of him there. Not gonna lie. At turn number 7 there.
He let him through. He did let him through.
It was just a bit of an interesting let through, should we say. Is look at the Mercedes up the inside, and Mercedes takes P7. Toby's just got no traction on those hard tyres, it seems. Struggling a little bit. Could have a bit of damage, you never know. But now the big question is, Rig, is he coming in? He is coming in. Provençaux is coming in as well. McKaylee is opting to stay out. So could McKaylee be the one that we should be looking out for and be going for that soft strategy maybe? Let's find out.
Let's see. How about Leo? Does he opt to pit? No, both houses are staying out. Alright.
Let's see.
Hard tires at the go.
Has that Resify hold up caused an issue as the Red Bull is trembling down the pit lane now? It's going to be the Red Bull, and Provençaux might actually be ahead here. So that might have cost Resify as he came out, but it's going to be quite close.
And Belbobby's coming as well. Boom's just as fast slap, and Riggs stays in front, but he's got Belbobby alongside. He's got fresher tires, warmer tires actually, up to temperature around the outside. He gets it done, and Belbobby takes P3, which will probably be provisional lead. So he is now pretty much your provisional race leader.
Yeah, that is very true, and that was a very cautious move by Belby there, and P3 for Belby, P4 for Rig, and yeah, it's getting on now. It is getting intense.
Yeah, Provatox came out in 6th as he came out of his pit stop, as we saw. But no, they're still in this train. They're still in this respective train from about 3rd to 9th place, as a matter of fact. As Napol gets himself a penalty, and Michele now finally goes into the pit lane. We'll see where he'll come out. And the leaders are making their way to turn 15.
Yeah, there's no way he'll be ahead of the leaders.
And Toby's been
chance.
disqualified for multiple penalties.
That is a shambles and a half.
Wow.
And Riggs has got that battery on. He's going to go for the switch. Back for P1. He takes it. And Riggs is now your race net leader. Or not at the moment. Leo is still out on those hard tyres. So he could be the one going for the optimal strategy. But there it is.
Yep, and Michele's now come out at 9th behind Boomsha after that pit stop. The yellow flag is detected too. That must have been from where Toby's car was. But yeah, the first driver I've actually seen in a very, very long time get disqualified for multiple penalties. He really did not have fun with track limits.
No, he did not. And yeah, that is just crazy. That he's been disqualified from the session. But what I'm kind of keen and my eyes are wide open for now is Michele in P9 on fresh set of medium tyres. That will work into his favour, 110%.
We'll wait and see. Well, yellow flags. That's Yanetsky spinning there at turn 11. Losing control, and he's now got the car going again.
And in 13th though, so Janetsky not having a great race either.
And into the pits comes Leo. And Riggs is out of DRS range of Belby, so he's in the clear of DRS. Belby does not have DRS. And Riggs sets a new fast lap with a 122.855. Very fast lap indeed from the Red Bull driver. As Toby's
this
now
is
left
what
the
I
session.
mean. We're getting a recap of yesterday's stream of Jarno, you know, he just pulled away. And that is exactly what Riggs is doing right now. He's draining the battery and trying to pull away. But Belby has got a little bit more battery than the Red Bull up ahead at the moment. So
not as much though. That's the
not
thing.
as much. But will Resify try to go for the switches? He's got a lot more battery than the top two. Pravatox burning quite a bit of battery as well. But he's just trying to stay with the gaggle of cars up ahead. The gap is now, roughly 1.2 seconds ahead. Between P1 and P2. Resify needs to get the move done and dusted now, you could say. But yeah, it's going to be quite an intense race to the end because obviously Riggs is on those medium tyres, 2 laps old. So will they die off and will the hards finally come into play? It's going to be an interesting one, but we will find out shortly what happens.
Oh, it's Belby. Penalty for him. 3 seconds. We ran wide at 15. And still doesn't have DRS. Resify, though, doesn't have the tire advantage. That's the only downfall for him at the moment. But, yeah. He needs to get going quickly. Speaking of some people that are going quickly, Liam overtakes Nathan. I think Michele just overtook Boomshi. What it looked like there at turn 1.
Yeah. I believe it's just the fact if you don't have DRS on the back straight to start and finish, you're just a sitting duck. If you've got 3 or 4 cars behind you and they've got DRS, you're not surviving. You're just going into a loophole of just mysteries. But no, that's really unfortunate for Belby there. A 3-second time penalty. Quite harsh, but like we said at the beginning of qualifying, KD, track limits is tight.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's what we definitely have said before, and it's proving our point. But meanwhile, Resify is he's losing a bit of time, but he's still within range, but he needs to keep up with Belby. He's losing time in that middle sector compared to him. Sproky gets a penalty. Spin. Oh, that's Nanetsky again. Yeah, Nanetsky again. This time at turn. That was at the exit of turn 8, I think, as Liam has got himself a 3-second. 3-second time penalty. Ugh, gee whiz. And same with Nicholas Boyda. A lot of penalties here in this race. I did not expect this many, if I'm totally fair about it. We have got almost the entire grid with penalties.
That is true. So if you're sitting in P15 right now, like the Aston Martin is, you'd be pretty chuffed and happy if you can make up a little bit more time and a little bit more ground.
As Zaneski goes in.
The Red Bull is just pulling away at this rate. Sorry. So Rezify needs to get past now. Pravatox right on the back. Yep, like I said, Janetsky retiring. Had enough for today. Hopefully they come stronger in the next one. And Brandox is a driver we're not expecting, getting a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, that is a shocker and a half.
Yeah, multiple warnings. Yeah, no, we're starting to see the field spread out a little bit. We got now just we went from having a top 9 train to now having just a little bit of packs of cars, pretty much. We still got
I would say as well, McKaylee now picking their way through the train a little bit and the pack. Currently in P7 and fighting with Nathan. Nathan on 5 laps old hard tyres and McKaylee on 3 laps. So McKaylee may have stayed out to go for the tyre optimal strategy. Look how much grip they have on the exit. Is it 16, I believe? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And look how close they are behind the Alfa Tauri. Are they going to try and do an overtake on the Alfa Romeo? Or will it be a double overtake? He's going to go... I think he's going to go for the inside there. But the Alfa Romeo may lose 2 positions in 1 corner. Is that going to be the case? Not at the moment. McKaylee backs out of it completely. But the Alfa Romeo tries to go defensive. And McKaylee on the back now. Got the... not the DRS. The DRS on right now. They're going to look up the inside, then they're going to back off a little bit. They're going to try and force the Alfa Romeo driver into a little bit of a mistake. But Liam playing to perfection there. And, yeah, just awesome work there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all clean as well, is what we like to see.
Yeah, and meanwhile, while we had that battle as well, Belbebe lost 2 positions to Provotox and Rezify. So he's down to 4th, and Rezify and Provotox are 2nd and 3rd in that order. Now, another thing, too, that we have not talked about much in this race, how is everyone's fuel? That
is a good question. I don't know.
We're going to have to see that bit towards the end of the race, if people will have to fuel save. You don't want to fuel save for a track like this, considering how fast it is, with all these medium and high-speed turns.
It is quite a hard track to fuel save as well, if I'm going to be honest with you. So, McKaylee!
Oh, 3 seconds, multiple warnings. Did that at 16. And
not ideal.
And here comes Liam. Looks like he'll overtake the AlphaTauri. McKaylee tried to follow suit, but he just wasn't close enough.
So the AlphaTauri tried to fight that one, but just didn't succeed. But no. Your net leader, Rig, just pulling away. Eating up on time, probably pushing that battery, now saving some battery. Pravatox now takes provisional P2 at the moment, getting past Rezify. Is Pravatox going to be the one to watch out for? Do they have what it takes to challenge pole position? Do you think, KD, or is the Red Bull a bit too far away on those medium tyres? With the tyre advantage and the different tyre wear?
Oh, I'd probably say right now... I'd probably say Riggs right now is in a very good spot. Really, as long as his fuel is fine, he should be in a very good position. I don't really see Provotox really catching him that much, as someone's got yellow. That was Dominic Nielsen. Has he? Oh, he's got a puncture!
He's got a puncture!
He's got a puncture! 19 laps on those tires. He's got a puncture. Front left tires. Look at that. It's all shredded. You got no more carcass. There's no more carcass anymore. It's all gone. So he's gonna have to limp back.
That's gonna be into the pit lane in retirement for sure.
Yeah, he tried. He tried for sure to go 19 laps after getting involved in some incidents. But after that, nope, it became a puncture. As Nicholas Boyda and Nick Kenshin swapped places. That's the yellows for Dominic Nielsen's puncture. That's mainly what we're seeing there on the mini-map. That is very unfortunate, but yeah, that gives you an idea of how long the tires can last. on the mediums, 19 laps.
Devastating, that is. Absolutely devastating, but not a good race for Williams today. They'll be trying to stay positive. You know, Nelson won't be too happy as they tremble into the pit lane. Probably going to be a DNF, but we'll find out in a minute. They might carry on. And look at what's just trying to struggle to brake as well. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Oh yeah, it's really hard to control the car when you have literally a puncture. When you don't have all four tires all pumped up. Yeah, there he goes, into the pits. Trying to get off of those tires. Meanwhile, though, change of position from what it's looking like. Provatox now overtakes Resify. Liam, though, at the background, though, is weaving like crazy. Trying to defend against the AlphaTauri. Deary me. That was very close.
There's a contact!
Oh, there's a spin! Spin! Nathan spun!
Oh, Nathan is round. That was due to McKaylee getting a bit too close, I believe.
Yeah,
to the rear
right
wing
into the
of
back.
Nathan.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that is devastating.
Oh, dearie me, as McKaylee hardly defends against Bunsha. Oh dear, or hard defends, I should say. Not hardly defends, but, dearie me. Yeah, Nathan's dropped down to 9th place because of that incident. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a steering inquiry for that. Maybe another penalty. What is that now for him? Oh, jeez. That is now.
Do we dare
9.
look? Do we dare look what it is?
I already did. It's 9 seconds. Everyone else says.
Oh no.
Yeah, Mabby and Dominic have 9 seconds. Everyone else that has penalties. Well, I was gonna say 6 seconds. It's now 3 seconds. It's now 6 seconds for Busha. And a penalty for Provatox. 3 seconds. Multiple warnings are running wide at turn 15. And Nathan's got a penalty too. Almost the entire grid has got penalties. Apart from 2 drivers.
Resify versus Riggs. Who's going to get the penalty? We'll find out in a few laps' time if that's going to happen. But we're not too sure. But something's caught my eye, KD.
What's
P1.
that?
Provatox is catching. Is that a symbol of fuel issues for Red Bull, maybe?
Let's look at the fuel situation for. I need to get rid of that telemetry. He's currently at 6.1 laps of fuel, and we have about 6 laps to go in this race. I think Race is gonna be close on fuel, from what it looks like. Let me look at Provatox's situation on fuel. He's roughly about the same. Resify, though, is not. He's got 6.5 laps of fuel in the car. Okay, so this is gonna get interesting. It's definitely gonna be looking like a fuel race from what it's looking like. But can they not run out of fuel on the final laps of the race?
That is going to be the challenge that we like to see here at PSGL as always. But we just got to wait. Lap 25 we go to now. The gap to the leader is 2.5 seconds. Provatox probably getting quite frustrated in that cockpit. He can see the lead up ahead, but just can't get close enough as McKaylee makes a position up to P6 now.
Yeah, ahead of
the AlphaTauri.
Again, Boomshot. I probably would say out of this whole top 5, Resify has the best fuel situation compared to everybody else. Brandoc's another penalty, multiple warnings. As Dalvin Nielsen sets fastest lap. I don't think, though, that fast lap will count because he's outside the top 10.
Well, I don't think it does, unfortunately, but that was a good fastest lap time from the Williams.
We'll see here. We've got 5 laps to go here. Riggs still holding on, 2.6 seconds. Still a tight fight for P2 between Provatox, Resify, and Bumblebee. But Resify and Riggs are the only ones that don't have penalties. But yeah, like you said, if Riggs does get a penalty, if Riggs does to get, sorry, goodness me, my English. We're all having a bad English day today.
But I say, yeah, it's not going well today, is it? It's not going very well.
No. Yeah, and English is like our #1 language. Um, Resify, yeah, has no penalties. Riggs doesn't have any penalties as McKaylee overtakes Liam for 5th. If Riggs does get a penalty, though, it could play into Resify's hands. But of course, we'll wait and see if that does come into play. But yeah, right now he's got a comfortable 2.7 second margin. Dalvin Nielsen decides he's had enough. Fair enough. Well, meanwhile, the battle for 13th is still going. As we've got Luno, Napple, Brokey, and Mabby battling for 13th. Not in a position to fight for points, but still battling nonetheless. Alright, yellow's at sector 1. That's for Dalvin Nielsen's car. They're trying to get out of the pit lane. Oh, Luno's got a penalty as well. Multiple warnings. Well,
So kicking off.
Well, Flynn, it seems like the gap's now increased again. It did.
Yeah.
It showed it was at 2.4. Now it's at 3 seconds between Prometux and Riggs.
But look at this, Resify going for the move at P2, yellow flag, someone's round, and a moment disappeared.
That was the AI.
Oh, look at Resify. He was quite close in defence there, not gonna lie. But look at Bumblebee. He's getting involved now.
He's trying to, yeah. I've got that stupid audio glitch again. Lovely.
Yeah, I've got it at the moment. It's quite annoying, but there's not much we can do, is there?
Yeah, and they just did a patch just last night.
Yeah.
Lovely. 8th and 3 second penalty, multiple warnings, and here comes Leo to the inside, but doesn't get alongside the Williams just yet. Now he is. But can he get the move done? That's tight. But Leo's now in front in the final point scoring spot in 10th. As Mavi
I've
has
just
a bit of
realised something. Look at P5.
Yes.
They're closing rapidly at the moment. I think that tyre advantage is starting to come into play. On lap 27 to 28 we go.
Or is it maybe the fuel? I wonder. Well, wait and see. Yeah, I have noticed that. He gained 3/10 about that corner alone there, McKaylee did. Alright, so we're on to 2 laps to go. Let's look at everyone's... Do they have any red icons? The answer is no. No one has a red icon just yet. Not from what I can tell. Spoonchick overtakes Liam for 6. Right, so... How will this pan out? Nobody's flashing. I don't see anybody... Actually, there is one person that is in slight trouble, and that's Leo. He's got the yellow icon. That means his car's under-fueled. Oh, as McKaylee gets another penalty. Multiple warnings.
Oh, that's devastating for the house car there. Pushing a bit too hard. That's what happens in a result of a push.
Yep. Yeah, he did everything he could there, I guess. Mavi goes in. He'll probably go for fastest lap, I assume. Yep, there's the red icon for Leo. How's everyone else in the top 5? Still good. Doesn't seem like the fuel is coming into play. Not just quite yet. Maybe they got enough fuel to go through to the end, I'm guessing. Otherwise, I probably would see them flashing red by now.
True.
Alright, well, we're on to the final lap, and Riggs has got a 3.2 second lead to his name. And Resify, he's building a gap right now between himself and his respective rivals. That's behind him in 3rd and 4th. Bill will be looking for a move down the inside. Barges his way through against the Ferrari, but he's trying. But can't get it done there at turn 1. The Ferrari stays in front.
I think Paratox is on full defence right now.
Yellow.
As there's more yellow flags, someone has run out of fuel, I believe.
Is it Luna?
Someone's going very slowly. It's Luno.
Yep, he's
Luno
at
is
it.
the first one to run out of fuel.
He is the first. And Riggs is flashing red. He's flashing red in that Red Bull. Yep, that's
Is it going to be enough?
Oh, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Nicholas Boyd, a 3-second time penalty. Provotox is also flashing. Razify is not flashing. Belbaby is flashing. And McKelly is not flashing. Keep our eyes on the leader as
I'll give it a
well.
close eye, do not worry.
Yeah, this is not over yet, I don't think. I don't think this is over. 3.5 seconds is the margin. He's got only 2 corners and a long straight. That's all for Riggs. Can he get around the final corner with full speed? Yes, he can. He's got the main straight, and I think he's got it locked in. And it's the Finn that'll take the checker flag and win the very first Qatar Grand Prix. Rezify will take P2, and Provotox P4. Provotox P3, sorry. Belva P4. Liam P5. Boomsha P6. McKaylee finishes at 7th. Brandox 8th. And Nathan will complete the 9th place position. And Nick will cross the line to complete the final point scoring spot, along with Nicholas Boitza in 11th. So only one car ran out of fuel the entire time. Only one car. Meanwhile, drag race to the line between the Ferrari and the Mercedes as Napple overtakes Brokey, gets him by 63 thousandths at the line.
Yeah, that was impressive, wasn't it?
Oh, actually, no, I take that back. Leo also ran out of fuel. Can he get to the line, though, before the Alpine does? Yes, he can. As Mappy sets the fastest lap of the race. Luno! He got 10 seconds for just going off the track there at turn 16. Well, I mean, it won't matter anyway. He's not even within a position to overtake anybody.
There goes Luno across the line in P1. That was a stonking mega fastest lap I've ever seen, isn't it? Mega lap that was. That was like a 1:18.2. That was a mega lap by the Aston Martin.
Yeah, very nice lap. Boomsha driver of the day. We'll see how many positions he gained over the course of this race. But in the end, it's the Finn of Riggs taking another victory. Took a victory at Bahrain. Takes another one here at Qatar. He's actually just taken the Middle East, as a matter of fact, so far in this portion of the calendar.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive, to be honest. So, yeah, congrats to the race leader winner.
Yep, and Rezify finishing P2, Provotox P3. Another good result for the pair of those two as well. But Riggs, though, extends his championship lead a little bit further here in the championship. And we'll go over the unofficial results here for this Qatar Grand Prix. It's Riggs that wins by 3.5 seconds, and Rezify finishing in P2, the only two in this whole entire grid not to get a penalty. Provotox P3, followed by Belba Liam, Boomsha, McKaylee, Brandox, Nathan, Nick Kenshin, Nicholas Boyda, Napple, Brokey, Leo Eris, maybe, Luno, Dominic Nielsen. And then your retirees are Yanetsky, Toby, and Stroduzzi. Yeah, not so great races though from those three. And Yanetsky though, I'm sorry, Dominic Nielsen also retired as well. Not a great start from Yanetsky either after getting a P2 finish at Brazil. Hopefully he can maybe get those results back up for his sake.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll go ahead and see if many of them want to, I guess, have a chat with us. So we'll just invite them in here, I guess. Okay. Probably won't be too.
Unfortunately, KD, I need to bounce ASAP because something RL's come up, so I need to run away.
Oh, that's alright. Thanks again, though. I appreciate the commentary with you, man.
No worries. It's been awesome. Have a good one. Stay safe, and
Yep.
I'll catch you guys next week. Bye bye.
Later, Finn. Thanks again. And that was my commentator as well. And then he does an amazing job as well. And also, I know this is something we promised a while back, but we are hoping to use the actual PSGL graphics and stuff like that coming up. The only reason we couldn't do it this time about was just because, well, for a while he didn't have the Elgato, and also he didn't he doesn't have access to the YouTube channel just yet. But we're hoping to make this a little bit more professional. That's the main thing. That's obviously the main goal. But hopefully you enjoyed this so far. But yeah, let me get everyone in here if I can. And yeah, we'll have a bit of a chat. Alright, so I've had him in here now. Pretty sure it'll be straightforward with Riggs, because knowing old Finns, they usually just go straightforward answers. Seems like that anytime you talk with a Finn. They don't really talk that much. Alright then. Well, hello, Resify.
Hello, mate.
Good to hear from you again. Been a little while, I guess.
Oh, so yes, last race, no?
Actually, was it Bahrain the last time I talked to you?
It was Bahrain, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Hello, Private Talks as well.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you as well. Well, I guess since we got you two in here, might as well go and get started. Maybe we'll see if Riggs does show up later. But we'll start off with Private Talks. So, yeah, what a good race from you. Qualified 7th though, but made 4 spots towards the end of the race. Was stuck in a bit of a train though for a little while though, as expected at Qatar. But how did you find it overall here tonight?
Yeah, my quali wasn't the best, but I don't think it has ever been good on any track. So yeah, P7 was okay. I expected to be my my race pace a little bit better, but yeah, unfortunately the guys in front were just a little bit too quick, and when the leader got out of the DRS, it was just of a bit of switching with Reservoir. But yeah, at the end I just didn't notice we were at the last bit. So I think the number 4 tried to attack me on the last lap, or yeah, the lap before that, when last time we crossed start finish, and yeah, I had to burn all my ERS, so no attack on the final straight. But I think yeah, the podium was deserved for all of us 3 guys.
Yeah, no, it seemed like you just like do well during the race. We were kind of actually talking about that while we were waiting for the new lobby to come up. We were talking about how your results have always been mostly in the race. So you don't do well in qualifying, but you do well for whatever reason in the race and gain your way back up, which is a very good effort, obviously.
But yeah, it's really difficult to overtake her.
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
It didn't make it any easier. I don't know which track we have next week.
Austria.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna be any easier, but let's see what that brings us.
Yeah. Well, how was your fuel situation though? I know this track burns up a lot of fuel, but I noticed like towards the end, like a couple of you guys were in the red by the time we were going to the end of the race.
Yeah, I think my mediums were, what was it? Maybe 66%, and I did the medium hard, and the hards were, yeah, it flashed up red in the last lap, so probably 61 or 62.
Well, I was talking about your fuel.
Oh, my fuel! Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was a little bit in the plus at the end, in the positive. I started with 2.25, I think, and I ended with 0.40, so...
Makes sense.
But it was sketchy. I was almost the whole race in DRS, and if I had to stay on front without DRS, I don't think I would have made it with my fuel.
Well, I mean, at least the main thing is you did make it. That's the bottom line. But in the end, I mean, you got P3. I guess I don't need to ask you how it'll be for you in Austria, because you kind of already explained it. How it'll be.
Yeah.
But no, congratulations though on your 3rd place finish, and good luck to you
thanks.
next week. Yeah, of course. All right, well, I guess we'll move on to P2. Resify, back on the podium, respectively, but let's see, you qualified what? P2 if I remember correctly, right?
P1.
Or was it P1? Oh yeah, you got pole, that's right. Yeah, but how was the race for you overall? Because I know that you and Riggs kind of exchanged places quite a bit. But was your plan on the memes to try to like build a gap at the start as best you could? Or what was the whole plan there?
I didn't really know because I didn't do a lot of race practice. The only practice I did was the fuel. That's why I got, I was hoping that other people would run out. But I just didn't feel comfortable in the mediums like I did on the hard. So I kind of just wanted to save my ERS. I went into the pits with 8% when a lot of other people were maybe on like 30, 40. Just trying to save it because I know you burn it here without even using it. So that's what my aim was. And Riggs is, he's just too quick. I couldn't really, even if I wanted to pull away, he just stick with me. And then you saw in the last stint, he pulled 3.5 seconds almost. So yeah, the whole plan. After I saw him go on, I was like, okay, let's just go for P2. And then when I saw 2 people behind me on penalties, I just relaxed because I was already on 2 warnings after like lap 5. So
yeah, just
managed that the whole race and brought it home. Just trying to be consistent, main thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the whole thing about Qatar is like we've been saying, it's just the fuel has just been the big thing. It seemed like you had the most out of anybody because I did not notice that your telemetry was blinking red for the fuel. Like, where were you at the end of it?
I'm not. I think I finished around like 0.67, but I started on like 2.7. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
2 laps of fuel, which is quite a lot. But like I said, I was hoping other people didn't realise that you burnt that much, so I could maybe, especially Riggs, because I knew he'd be the one that would annoy me and get my win today, and he did. So I was kind of hoping he didn't realise, and I got told by someone that was watching it that he was flashing red at the end as well. So I was like, just one more lap, I would have been there.
Yeah, because like we were saying, that you look like the best out of everybody in terms of the fuel situation.
Yeah.
In that top 5. But yeah, one more question, I guess. So next week we head to Austria. How do you think you'll fare around there?
So I do really like Austria, but I don't know if I'm here next week. I still have to work out if I'm here, but I'm quite sad I'm missing that one because that's probably one of my better tracks in this game.
Oh, damn. Well, that's unfortunate, but well, I guess we'll wait and see what happens for you in 2 weeks. Even though the thing is, we still don't know what the other tracks are going to be just quite yet.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully they'll release that soon.
Yeah.
But no, congrats on your P2, and
thank you.
See you in 2 weeks, I guess, wherever that will be.
See you. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Take care, man.
Bye.
Well, and yeah, with that, I guess that will wrap up the stream. So yeah, bit of a close race for a little while. And yeah, congratulations to Riggs. Obviously, I know you weren't in the party, but if you're hearing this, congratulations on your victory and your second victory in Bahrain. Pretty much sweeping the first half of the Middle East. Or maybe sweeping the Middle East with the PSGL calendar, if that's the only tracks we'll do. Not sure if we'll do Jeddah or Abu Dhabi. But yeah, no. Hopefully, also too for next week. Like I mentioned, we'll hopefully have a better look for the stream. Like I said, with the whole thing to get the PSGL graphics and everything like that for you. So yeah, no, it should be. If we can get that next week, that'll be looking fantastic. And of course, a big thank you to Flynn as well for the co-commentary as well. And also, he's the one that's been he's actually trying to set up with the whole OBS, Elgato stream and whatnot. And I'm looking forward to see his work with that. So, yeah, no, that's a massive thank you to my commentary partner for sure. But until then, I have been K1997. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you for round 5 of the championship at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Take care, everybody, and good night.